Hello, welcome to another episode of Sports with Monga. And yes, it is pretty much Pep Guardiola disadvantage and Arteta advantage. But the game that we've been looking forward to, the biggest game of the Premier League, which basically everybody is touting as the game which decides the Premier League title, has basically been a grab. It's not been exciting at all. The game which everybody is kind of anticipating, where we feel that Manchester City is going to make the comeback again and they're going to win it. And also Arsenal possibly making the chance for them to win this Premier League title. Finally, it basically came to nothing. It came to basically nothing, a 0-0. And yes, that's what we're talking about. There's a lot of talking points, definitely. Like, how does this kind of end up with the title race? Where are we? What's going to happen? And it's only going to get exciting now. Do like this video. Do subscribe to the channel. I'm realizing like 100% of you guys were loving my videos, and thanks for all the support that you've been giving to my previous videos. The Arsenal one, the Premier League, Arsenal run, possibly the title run, and the Mancity, and all the other videos that you're liking and enjoying watching. Do hit the subscribe button. I love the fact that you kind of are watching those videos, so it kind of gives me more a motivation to make these videos, where I'm kind of discussing different things, different angles. Possibly not as structured as I would be, but then it just gives me an idea like how I can pick up topics and the ones that you want me to talk about. I did one about Bundesliga as well, so it's not just the Premier League; it's all around the main games and so on and so forth. So let me know in the comment section below, what do you want me to basically bring to you next? Like, it could be a different game which I have not even heard of. I have no idea about. So drop in the comments and let me know what you want me to get into, and hit the subscribe button, smash that like. Push that bell icon to know whenever I do another video, and you are notified as well. And let's jump into it. Premier League, Manchester City 0, Arsenal 0. Is it advantage Liverpool? Yes, in a way it is, because they're now the favorites. Because now it's basically advantage Liverpool. That's kind of the main draw here, because now they're sitting top of the Premier League. If you've not checked out, you'll have a look at the video of the Liverpool game that I kind of reviewed later. But going into this game again, like a little deeper, it was a stalemate. It was basically a tactical match, a tactical brilliance between Arteta and Pep Guardiola. Mikel Arteta's side frustrated the champions and demonstrated a steal to earn a draw, which could see them finally topple their tormentors in May. Manchester City effectively wrapped up last season's Premier League round by thrashing Arsenal, but it was hard to make any conclusion that it is the destination of this season's title from Sunday's bitty 0-0 draw, as it's left a 3-horse race wide open. Arsenal basically did the same thing. They played the tactics. Arteta knew what City will bring. They did enough to keep Haaland down. Saliba and Gabriel did a great job. MVP, the most valuable player, or like the player of the match, was Saliba. Then that tells you how the game went, because when a defender becomes the player of the game, like such a big moment, you understand what's really happened. Erling Haaland and Phil Foden were basically completely nullified in the game. You didn't see Haaland, of course. Gabriel and Saliba are like on top of him, so there's no kind of he can't just make them disappear. Even that's what Pep even at the end of the day, like, I need to kill somebody to kind of play that way, the way they were marking all around. Haaland was shackled by Gabriel, and Jorginho was doing a great job keeping an eye on Phil Foden, ensuring the midfielder could not dictate the pace of the game as he usually does. Pep Guardiola, of course, would have wanted Foden, Bernardo Silva, even Rodri have more, and Kevin De Bruyne have more chance to play around with the ball, but then they actually didn't. It was interesting that Doku and Grealish, whenever they came on, hugged the touchline, but then it was Guardiola from a centre-back position to kind of make the runs most of the time, to kind of inject that pace to see what happens. And that's kind of the brilliance, the tactical brilliance here that we're seeing from Arteta to against Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola, of course, needs to, he needs to kind of be basically, now he's basically said in the post-match conference as well, That's just out of their hands. Like they've had to, somebody has to drop points because they had a chance to go top, but now they couldn't go on top. Hence now they're basically going to be hoping for somebody to drop points, like City, like Arsenal or Liverpool. It's kind of interesting how Pep sets it up. It's not that bad. It's not completely gone crazy. But Man City are sitting third right now, the third favorite, and that's what he said. Like the title, the Premier League table does not lie. We are third favorites. We have 64 points. Arsenal 65 and Liverpool 67. So we need somebody to drop points for us and us to win. Man City does have some more favorable fixtures. They play Aston Villa next. Then they play Crystal Palace, Luton, Brighton, Nottingham Forest, Wolves, Spurs, West Ham United. And I feel they have a better fixture, but they're also playing Real Madrid in the Champions League. They're also playing the FA Cup semi-final. So they're in more competition. But on the other hand, for Arsenal, they're not playing. They're only playing Bayern Munich in the Champions League. They're not playing the FA Cup. So the games can be managed, and so it now depends who's going for what, in my opinion, and that's what needs to kind of happen. But in the end, the game eventually was a stalemate. It was a 0-0. I think both managers would actually be happy that none of them lost. So they're still in the title race. It's still an open. It's still an open race. Of course, it's much more in favor of Liverpool right now. But then it's Man City and Arsenal we're talking about, and this was a big game that we felt that something could clearly happen, but that didn't happen. So hence it moves on. Manchester City defensive crisis kind of continues up, and I think it's basically Nathan Ake pulled up an injury midway through the first half, forcing Guardiola to throw an inexperienced Rico Williams while switching Manuel Akanji to centre back. Ake being out would not usually set alarm bells, but his injury comes at the worst time, with Guardiola missing 3 key players in the back. Ederson got injured at the start of the month at Anfield, then City suffered in the double whammy of the blows in the international break. The usually bulletproof Kyle Walker hurt his hamstring for England against Brazil, and then John Stones, playing for the Three Lions against Belgium, suffered yet another setback in an injury-riddled campaign. The losses come as City have 6 games in the next 3 weeks, including their Champions League quarter-final clash against Real Madrid, the FA Cup semi-final with Chelsea, and testing league fixture with Aston Villa on Wednesday. I think the winner eventually, of course, there's a big loss for Pep Guardiola. That's what he needs to think about. Like that's the biggest loss for Manchester City. Not just kind of this little draw, but I think the players that have lost now because of this hectic schedule. And he just kept saying in the post-match conference, well, like he just keeps saying this that something is wrong, but then nothing is ever done because UEFA and FIFA have their money to earn. Something to keep a track of. Winner definitely is Mikel Arteta. And City saw Arteta as Guardiola's eventual successor, and they were distraught when he left the Rosa Cattle assistant coach to take charge of Arsenal in December 13th. The Spaniard inherited a huge task when he succeeded Unai Emery, and he has had a long road to reach this point, but he has never been closer to overhauling his old master and his old employers. And that's what I feel. Arteta would take some confidence, and Arsenal would take some confidence that they did not lose this game, and emotions were kept in check. The game was not kind of crazy, like end to end. It was controlled. It was more tactical, more kind of won on the pitch and lost on the pitch rather than glaring moments outside the pitch. But that's how football sometimes is, and that's what I really like about Arteta. He's grown. I can see him grow. You can see him grow from what he did last year to now what he's doing, how he's changing those tactics and stuff and so on. But that's pretty interesting to watch as a fan, as a player. I don't know how you as Manchester City and Arsenal fans feel about this game. Drop in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how you feel the game went. Was it a drab? Where were you watching it? Like, for me, I was watching it from a very, very, it was kind of a weird place for me to be watching this because I was possibly on an island and I was watching this game when like it was raining and stuff and so on. So I was like very, very weird on my phone. And hence it's been the reason why I've been late to kind of do this review video. But I hope you like this video. Hit the smash the subscribe button, hit the like button, share it with your friends, share it with Arsenal and City fans. Let me know what do you think. What do you feel is the title hope right now for Pep Guardiola? Like, do you feel that Manchester City can actually win it? Of course, they've got on a run. Manchester City has the capacity to go on a run and win 27 under 27 points in the last 9 games. But it's also the question about does Liverpool and Arsenal actually drop points? And that's where I feel is going to be the difficult part. I really don't see City going on a run unless Liverpool just completely implode and Arsenal as well. Mancity can definitely go on a run, but I don't see others dropping points as well. But that's what the unpredictability of the Premier League season right now, and that's why we're kind of in it to live it. On that note, let me know what you think about this video. Let me know what you think about the game. Do like this video, share it with your friends, hit the subscribe button. I would really appreciate if you would hit subscribe now. Do it now. And I'll catch you in the next one.